don't buy these trucks, as they won't even last 50,000 miles. It's a real automotive battleground out there, with every manufacturer trying to convince you their latest model is the second coming. But let's be honest, not all these shiny new trucks are worth the hype. In fact, some of them are downright failures that'll leave you feeling more burned than a tire on a racetrack. So what are these trucks that you should steer clear of, and why? Let's break it down. Nissan Titan XD. This is the truck that's supposed to be a game changer, a bold leap forward in the ever-competitive world of full-size pickups. But the truth is, this diesel-powered beast has earned a reputation that should have buyers running for the hills. From severe engine issues to shoddy build quality, the Titan XD is a prime example of a truck you should never buy. Let's start with the heart and soul of this rig, the engine. The Cummins-sourced 5-liter diesel under the hood has been the source of endless headaches for owners. The exhaust gas recirculation system is a ticking time bomb, prone to clogging up with carbon deposits and leaving drivers stranded. And the turbocharger? Apparently it's about as reliable as a politician's promise, with frequent failures that can cost a small fortune to fix. Oh, and don't even get me started on the fuel system problems. It's like Nissan couldn't decide whether they wanted this thing to run on diesel or pixie dust. And when things do go wrong, the repair costs are enough to make your wallet weep. Those critical components, they don't come cheap, and with Nissan's dwindling support for diesel mechanics, you'll be at the mercy of independent shops that may or may not have a clue how to fix your ailing Titan. But wait, there's more. The build quality on this thing is questionable at best, with reports of rattling interiors and paint that chips and rusts faster than an old tin can. The Titan XD has had its fair share of recalls for issues like airbag deployment and steering problems. Not exactly the kind of thing you want to be dealing with on the open road. And let's not forget about that all-important resale value. Thanks to the Titan XD's reputation for unreliability and mediocre reviews, this truck is about as valuable as a used roll of duct tape when it comes time to sell or trade it in. Depreciation hits it hard, making it one of the worst investments in the full-size pickup market. Before we move on to the next one, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Chevrolet Colorado. Let's talk about the powertrain of the Chevrolet Colorado. Transmission problems are rampant, with owners reporting frustrating delays in shifting and even full-on slipping, especially in the redesigned 2019 models. And the engine? Well, misfires are a common occurrence, leading to poor performance and the potential for failed emissions tests. But wait, there's more. Some models have even experienced complete power steering failures, which is about as terrifying as it sounds. Chevrolet Colorado had to issue a massive recall on over 56,000 Colorados due to a software glitch that caused false obstacle detection and unintended braking. Talk about a recipe for disaster. Rear-end collisions waiting to happen. But even for the lucky ones who managed to avoid that recall, many are reporting spongy, unreliable brakes that make you wonder if you're driving a truck or a carnival ride. But the quality issues don't stop there. The interior is a sea of cheap hard plastics that feels like a giant letdown compared to the competition. And the exterior? Well, let's just say rust spots have been popping up faster than weeds in a neglected garden, raising serious concerns about long-term durability. But the real kicker? The costs of owning a Colorado. The annual repair bills are about $650, well above average for a mid-sized truck. And with a 15% chance of needing serious repairs, you can kiss your savings goodbye. Heck, owners report taking their Colorados to the shop more often than the average bear, and still can't seem to get the nagging issues resolved. The Ford F-150. The mighty Ford F-150, a truck, has long been a symbol of American automotive prowess, but when it comes to the 5.4-liter Triton V8 engine, there's a dark cloud lurking beneath the surface. This power plant has become notorious for a litany of reliability issues that can turn even the most die-hard truck enthusiast into a mechanic's worst nightmare. Let's dive into the most common problems plaguing this engine, starting with the dreaded sludging and oil passage plugging. It's a nasty combination that can bring your F-150 to its knees faster than a busted lift kit. The culprit? Neglecting those pesky oil changes, or using subpar lubricants that can't quite cut it. You see, this 5.4-liter engine is like a prima donna. It requires the finest synthetic or semi-synthetic oils to keep it happy and healthy. Skimp on the maintenance, and you'll have sludge building up faster than a politician's excuses. And when that sludge starts clogging those vital oil passages, the consequences are nothing short short of catastrophic. The poor camshaft phaser, that unsung hero responsible for keeping the engine's timing in sync, suddenly finds itself starved for lubrication. But the troubles don't end there. Oh no, these 5.4-liter engines also have a penchant for devouring spark plugs like a ravenous beast. The two-piece design is a recipe for disaster, with spark plugs blowing out of the cylinder heads like a scene from a demolition derby. And the repair costs? Well, let's just say they'll make your wallet weep. But the fun doesn't stop there. These engines have also been known to suffer from head gasket leaks and transmission issues, rounding out a veritable buffet of mechanical misery. It's no wonder that countless F-150 owners have taken to the forums, venting their frustrations over the endless trips to the mechanic and the staggering repair bills. Some have even resorted to the ultimate act of betrayal, selling their beloved trucks before the gremlins can strike again, sacrificing resale value to escape the clutches of this troubled power plant. So, if you are in the market for a new F-150, I would suggest taking a long, hard look at the engine options. And if that 5.4-liter Triton V8 is on the table, well, you might want to consider a nice, sensible V6 instead. Your wallet and your peace of mind will thank you. The Mercedes-Benz XClass. This truck is the luxury midsize pickup that promised to be the ultimate fusion of rugged capability and premium sophistication. But alas, beneath that sleek three-pointed star facade lies a troubling tale of reliability woes that have left many owners scratching their heads and questioning the very essence of the Mercedes-Benz brand. Let's talk about the two most glaring issues that have plagued this ill-fated pickup: the failures of the trailer stability function and the baffling breakdown of the safety locks. First, there is the trailer stability function, that oh-so-crucial system designed to keep your trailer firmly in check, preventing those harrowing fishtailing incidents that can turn a leisurely towing experience into a white-knuckle thrill ride. But for X-Class owners, this feature has become more of a liability than a lifesaver. The culprit? A tangled web of software glitches, sensor malfunctions, and electrical glitches that seem determined to render this safety system as useful as a cardboard anchor. Imagine towing your prized possession down the highway, only to have the X-Class's electronic control units throw up their digital hands in surrender, leaving you at the mercy of the laws of physics. And if that wasn't enough to curdle the blood, the X-Class has also fallen victim to a baffling breakdown of its safety locks, the very features designed to keep our precious cargo securely inside. Reports indicate that these locks, particularly the ones on the rear doors, can become loose or fail entirely due to shoddy manufacturing or simply succumbing to the ravages of time and wear. Suddenly, the idea of having your little ones along for the ride takes on a whole new level of terror, but the reliability woes do not stop there. Oh no. The X-Class has also been plagued by power steering failures, engine performance issues, and even premature wear on the suspension components. It is as if the very essence of Mercedes-Benz engineering has been reduced to a sad, sorry punchline. And the feedback from owners, well, it paints a portrait of pure, unadulterated frustration. Many have expressed disappointment in the failure of these critical safety features, questioning the very principles of quality and attention to detail that have long been the hallmarks of the three-pointed star. Online forums are littered with horror stories of trailer swaying incidents and the hair-raising experience of discovering that the child locks have turned traitor. Ultimately, the Mercedes-Benz X-Class has become a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that even the most esteemed automotive brands can stumble when it comes to delivering the reliability and peace of mind that customers rightfully expect. And for those considering this pickup, the message is clear: tread carefully and maybe consider an alternative that can truly live up to the promise of Mercedes-Benz engineering. The GMC Canyon. For owners of recent models of the GMC Canyon, particularly those from 2018 to 2022, the reality has been a far cry from the smooth sailing experience they expected. No, this truck has become a veritable minefield of reliability issues, with transmission failures, engine explosions, and brake woes creating a perfect storm of headaches and heartaches. Let's start with the transmission, the very heart of this pickup's power delivery. Owners have reported all sorts of nightmarish problems, from the torque converter failing to engage properly to the entire transmission just giving up the ghost entirely. And the consequences? Well, let's just say that delayed acceleration and a whole lot of shuddering and shaking isn't exactly the recipe for a confident, enjoyable driving experience. But the transmission issues are just the tip of the iceberg. In some truly alarming cases, these Canyons have been known to experience what can only be described as engine explosions. Loud noises, billowing smoke, and a complete and utter shutdown of the power plant. What's causing this, you ask? A lethal cocktail of manufacturing defects, sludge buildup, and good old-fashioned overheating. It's enough to make even the most seasoned truck enthusiast wonder if they're sitting on a ticking time bomb. And if that wasn't enough to keep owners up at night, there's the matter of the brakes. Yep. Even the Canyon's stopping power has been called into question, with reports of worn components, hydraulic system failures, and glitches in the electronic stability control system. Imagine trying to bring this rig to a halt in an emergency, only to find that the brakes have thrown in the towel. Talk about a recipe for disaster. The feedback from Canyon owners paints a bleak picture, with many expressing a profound sense of unease and a lack of confidence in their vehicles. Online forums are a veritable graveyard of horror stories, filled with accounts of stranded drivers, astronomical repair bills, and a distinct lack of support from the manufacturer. And let's not forget the broader implications of these reliability woes. After all, a pickup truck is supposed to be a workhorse, a dependable companion that you can rely on to get the job done. But when the transmission, engine, and brakes are all suspect, it calls into question the very essence of the GMC brand, the promise of quality, performance, and peace of mind. So if you're in the market for a midsize pickup, I strongly suggest you avoid this truck at any cost. The GMC Canyon, with its litany of reliability issues, has become a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that even the most trusted nameplates can stumble when it comes to delivering the kind of dependability that truck owners rightfully expect. Lordstown Endurance. Now that's a name that's buzzing in the electric vehicle world. This newcomer is not just your run-of-the-mill electric truck. It aims to disrupt the entire pickup segment. It's stepping into a fierce arena dominated by established players, and with that goal faces a colossal task: building trust. It's a tall order when you've got a litany of production delays lurking in the shadows. So how do you convince consumers to take a leap of faith with you? Let's break it down. The Endurance marks the debut of Lordstown Motors, a company still finding its footing in the automotive landscape. Think about that for a moment. Picture yourself as an adventurous early adopter, excitement bubbling as you dream of cruising around in this electrified marvel. But then reality hits. You're suddenly within arm's reach of a problematic experience, navigating unexpected hurdles that make you feel like an unwitting subject in a risky experiment. Now consider the technology itself. The untested nature of the Endurance's components has plenty of potential owners sweating bullets. But technology isn't the only concern that keeps potential customers up at night. Lordstown Motors is also teetering amid serious financial turmoil, which adds another layer of uncertainty. Imagine needing support or service for your shiny new Endurance only to realize that the very company behind it is grappling with its survival. That's a crash course in the buyer's remorse waiting to happen. And just when you think things couldn't get worse, enter those aggravating production delays. These are the kinds that make even the most hardcore electric vehicle enthusiasts raise an eyebrow in skepticism about the manufacturer's capability. If they can't nail down the basics, how can we even begin to trust them with delivering a truck that's supposed to combine performance with reliability? It is a fair question, and not one to be taken lightly. We are left with a trifecta of woes that undeniably puts the Endurance in a sticky situation: a fragile financial footing, a technology foundation that's anything but proven, and a glaring lack of a robust support system. These are the ingredients that can make even the most thrill-seeking drivers second-guess their choices. Now, you might be wondering, what about other electric pickup options? While the Endurance may still hold on to some hope of being a serious contender in the arena, let's be real, it's far from the safest investment right now. When the stakes include putting your trust in a novel vehicle from a company on shaky ground, caution should rule the day. The risks are steep, and it's hard to justify taking that plunge. So here's the bottom line: if you are in the market for an electric pickup, my suggestion: look elsewhere, for the time being at least. Yes, the Endurance could hold the potential to transform the industry. However, with so much uncertainty swirling around it, perhaps it's wise to let someone else take that first ride into the unknown. After all, your hard-earned money deserves more than a roll of the dice. It ought to be spent on a vehicle that guarantees more than just lofty claims. What you really need is that promise of reliability, performance, and peace of mind. Sadly, that's something the Endurance has yet to establish. The Hyundai Santa Cruz. This unique hybrid-like truck is not just another usual ride, it's sculpted to capture the eyes of both truck enthusiasts and SUV lovers alike. The way it straddles that fine line between a compact truck and an SUV has made it a conversation starter. However, before you jump in and make this cutting-edge marvel your next companion on the road, there are some pesky reliability concerns you definitely should be keeping in your sights. Let's kick off with what's become the most alarming issue of all: transmission failures. That's right, the very thing responsible for channeling all that engine power to the wheels has started to throw some serious wrenches into the works for its owners. Imagine this: you're cruising on the highway, trying to accelerate, and suddenly, bam, you lose power. That kind of experience isn't exactly going to fill you with confidence, especially when you're trying to merge with incoming traffic. And it doesn't stop there. Drivers have also reported frustration that comes with delayed engagement when shifting from park to drive or reverse. Picture it, sitting there, waiting for your vehicle to react while everyone else zooms past. Not exactly the smooth commute you were hoping for, but let's not hang just on transmission troubles. The engine has thrown its hat into the ring of woes too. Some owners have reported issues with failures in the engine temperature control unit. That failure can lead to overheating, a scenario that's not just annoying but also threatens to damage the engine itself. The horror stories don't stop there. In more severe cases, some engines have required full rebuilds or outright replacements. And let's be honest, nobody wants to face an eye-watering repair bill like that. It's a gut punch. If you thought the transmission and engine were enough to keep you on your toes, think again. The Santa Cruz has also earned its fair share of criticism for its braking system. Imagine dealing with premature wear on the pads and rotors, not to mention full-on brake malfunctions. Reports have surfaced, including problems with the ABS, an essential safety feature. When it comes to vehicles, reliable brakes aren't a luxury, they are non-negotiable. You shouldn't have to worry about whether your braking system will hold up when you need it most. And as if we haven't piled on enough concerns, we've got the electrical system throwing its tantrums. Owners are reporting a barrage of issues, from annoying infotainment glitches that disrupt your driving playlist to unpredictable headlight failures and warning lights that seem to have a mind of their own. Come on, Hyundai. In an era filled with tech-savvy cars, this is just not acceptable. Let's wrap this up by addressing the elephant in the room: the inconsistency in build quality. From uncomfortable seating that leaves you fidgeting on longer drives to memory settings that just decided to take a vacation, the loose trim pieces and subpar paint quality have led many to wonder if Hyundai truly deserves the price tag associated with this vehicle. It's frustrating when a company sets certain expectations and then misses the mark upon execution. The 2023 Tacoma. For years, this truck has been synonymous with reliability, almost like an old friend who always has your back. Yet, with the 2023 models rolling in, it seems like the winds of change have brought in some unexpected turbulence. The trusted reputation of the Tacoma now possibly hangs in the balance, prompting future buyers to perhaps display a bit more caution as they consider making this their next vehicle purchase. Let's dive into one of the most critical areas causing a stir: the transmission. Ideally, this component should operate like a maestro, smoothly conducting the flow of power to the wheels. Instead, according to feedback from some owners, what they've been experiencing is far from harmonious. Picture an instrument out of tune, clunky, indecisive shifts that turn simple driving tasks into tedious chores. Worse yet, there have been tales of complete transmission failures mere days after purchase. Imagine just rolling out of the dealership feeling like you've won the lottery, only to have your driving dreams deflated almost immediately. That's a major reality check for any new owner. The Tacoma's engine, the heart that pumps life into this rugged beast, has also been sounding alarms of its own. Some owners report hearing noisy tapping at idle, alongside poor throttle response. The real kicker: instances of unexpected power loss and those dreaded warning lights blinking on the dash, hinting at potential disasters lurking beneath the hood. It's as if this engine is on the brink, whispering tales of impending meltdown to those savvy enough to listen. And if it comes to worst case scenarios, one can only imagine the kind of repair bills these drivers are staring down. Switching focus to the interior, the contrast is stark. While the exterior of the Tacoma continues to boast that tough, rugged rugged demeanor, stepping inside paints a different narrative. Highway journeys in this truck are accompanied by cabin noises unwelcome enough to make one long for the sweet lull of a quieter ride. Reports are streaming in of rattling seatbelts and components that seem to have been fitted without much care. Not quite what you'd expect from a vehicle where the price tag soars upwards of $40,000. And if you fancy a game of technological catch-up, the Tacoma may not be your top contender. The infotainment system has been met with criticism for having a clunky interface and slow response times, making it feel somewhat antiquated when juxtaposed with the competition's systems that seem to glide at the speed of light. As for advanced safety features, well, it feels like the Tacoma is still running behind its rivals, struggling to keep up in a race that never slows down. The rising tide of reliability complaints surrounding the 2023 Tacoma is perhaps the most troubling. From mechanical failures to glaring quality control issues, they combine to paint a daunting image of this one's legendary truck. It is enough to make one ponder if Toyota has possibly let their focus stray from upholding the bulletproof reliability of this beloved model. The Ford Ranger. Let's talk about the transmission of the Ford Ranger, because if there's one thing owners have been griping about, it's the slipping, leaky, and downright noisy transmissions in this rig. We're talking about symptoms like difficulty shifting gears, unusual clunking sounds, and the all too familiar sight of puddles of transmission fluid on the garage floor. And trust me, those repair bills aren't going to be cheap. And while we're under the hood, let's talk about the engine, because it seems the Ford Ranger just can't catch a break when it comes to its power plant. We've got reports of oil pump failures, the kind that can lead to a complete engine seizure if not caught in time. And then there are the turbocharger issues, which can seriously sap that hard-earned power and performance. Not exactly the kind of reliability you'd expect from a truck in this class. And if that wasn't enough, the Ford Ranger has been struggling in the reliability department across the board. I am talking about poor rankings in those all-important consumer surveys, not to mention a laundry list of recalls due to various mechanical failures. It's enough to make you wonder if this truck is really built to last. But the concerns do not stop there. Some owners have even been grumbling about the overall build quality of the Ranger, with complaints about everything from shoddy interior materials to annoying rattling noises. Not exactly the kind of premium feel you'd expect from a vehicle in this price range. But what do you think? Have you had experiences with any of these trucks? Let us know in the comment below. And remember, investing in a vehicle is significant, and knowing which models to steer clear of can save you from a world of headaches down the road.